Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. I hope you can hear me. Let me know. Just give a reaction or let me know in the chat. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much everyone who has joined us. And I have seen a lot of messages in the chat. It is so nice that you are introducing yourself. Thank you, Huzur. Thank you, Alize, Saida, Kulsum, Fatma, Maksood, Umair, and Muhammad. Faryal and everyone, Nurulan and everyone who has joined us and who has introduced themselves as well. And the chat is open for you to introduce and to connect with other people. So my name is Maria Mekan and I am from Pakistan. I assume that we have mostly people from Pakistan, but not too sure because we have registrations from all around the world and we have Muslim names, so can't guess. And thank you so much, Sadia, for joining. I can see you, and I cannot open my camera because my network is not that supportive. But thank you, Malaika and Samra, everyone. So today we are going to talk on women leadership and environment and women in environmental leadership. Let me share my screen and then we can proceed with the session because we just want to keep this session short and not to like do not exceed 1 hour benchmark, but still so just let me share my screen, then I will give you a brief introduction and we will proceed with the topic. Okay. I hope my screen is visible to all of you. Thank you, Amna, for letting me know. Okay, so today we are going to talk about women in environmental leadership, and this session is a capacity building session, and it is one among the series we are going to have under Women for Environment campaign by the Earth Needs Love. And this is a championed campaign and you were awarded by United Nations Climate Change Learn for this campaign as well. And we are just, going ahead with more advocacy and more capacity building sessions. And thank you so much, everyone who has joined us for this. So women in environmental leadership is basically this is a topic we have started with. And when we talk about women, so it is very important. When we talk about environment, sorry guys, my internet. Okay, so let me, yeah, my internet is too pathetic. Okay, so today we are going to talk about women environmental leaders, their diverse leadership styles, what is gender and environmental justice, what barriers and challenges we face, and what how women brings innovation when it comes to environmental solutions. So we have Dr. Sadia with us as well, and I will introduce her later on in, when she will have to overtake the floor. So first of all, let's learn that what is women, what are women environmental leaders, who are them, who are the women who have significant contributions in the field of environmental sciences. So before that, let's just learn that what women in environmental leadership mean. So women in environmental leadership means that the women who play prominent and influential roles in the field of environmental conservation, in the field of sustainability, or they're working for environmental advocacy, we call them the women who are in environmental leadership. And we see that the women who are at the always at the forefront of the efforts to address the environmental crisis, and they are always into promoting conservation and driving positive change, we call them women in environmental leadership. So here are a few examples I have to share with you all. We have my favorite Rachel Carson, and she gave us an amazing book, Silent Spring, which proved itself as as one of the initiating factor for all the environmental movements we have today. And she mentioned about pesticides in that book, and it opened a new door of environmental movements in the time of industrial revolution. And she is one of the women environmental leader we have. We have Wangari Maathai, and she was a Kenyan. I don't know I'm pronouncing her name right, but she is very inspiring. And she was a Kenyan environmentalist and a political activist. And what she founded was the Green Belt movement, which not only focused on tree plantation and conservation efforts, but she also worked, and her organization also worked for the women rights. And she always kept women on the front when it comes to environmental leadership. Then we have our Greta Thunberg, which is who is a Swedish environmental activist, and people know her for her efforts to strike against the governments to combat climate change. And she initiated the movement called Fridays for Future, and she has inspired millions of young people around the world who strike for climate action. And they call their governments to and they draw attention of their governments to the crisis we have these days. Now, then we have Sunita Narayan, the Wonder Lady, and she is an Indian environmentalist, and she's also the Director General of Center for Science and Environment. And she has been a leading voice when it comes to environmental policy and advocacy in India. So, and there are many such women you can find, and you can find all of these women on the links given below. And you can take a screenshot of these slides, or you can always access these slides later on, because these will be available on our website too. So you can check these links, and there are hundreds of other women who are doing same actions, and they're inspiring everyone around them. Now let's learn that what are the diverse leadership styles, because leadership is always very inspiring and very influencing, irrespective of which gender is in the leadership position. But women always bring diversity in their styles. They have their unique style, their unique qualities, which they bring when they are in the leadership position. So there are some qualities, some leadership styles which women bring. First of all, women always bring empathy. They always make sure to build emotional connections with the people around them, and then they make decisions. Secondly, women always understand the diverse perspective. They hear from the poor, they hear from the rich, they hear from all the genders they have around them, and they always make sure that every class, every group is heard, is included, and they are very empathetic towards them. Moreover, women are popular for being nurturing, because women have this caring nature given by God, because they have this nature, they have this nurturing approach when they work. Secondly, women always believe in collaboration. They do not believe in working alone, and they always make sure that they work in collaboration. They ensure inclusivity, and they build team before starting any work. Also, if they have any new decision in their mind, they always make sure that a consensus must be built over that decision, and there must be collaboration and collaborative approach to bring the change and do the action. Thirdly, we see that women always focused on long-term perspective. They believe that we should work something which focus on sustainability. Secondly, they focus that they always make sure that we are mitigating the risk beforehand. And thirdly, they always make sure to have a resilient approach to build resilience of the communities. Then we have communication skills. And I don't know, but we say that women talk a lot, but it is called communication skills the women have. And women have very effective communication skills. They have very effective storytelling abilities. And I always share one of the researches in many of my sessions beforehand as well, that in America, there was a research which was conducted, and two groups of kids were considered for that. One group was all girls and other group was all boys. And what they did, that they taught both the groups about environment, and then they surveyed and interviewed their parents of both the groups. And they found the parents of girls group were more well informed about environment as compared to the parents of the boys group. And then they later found that this is because the girls are more influencing. They communicate the problems really well, and that's why their parents were very well informed about the things they have learned in the schools. So I always say that because women have this good ability of communicating, they have the good ability of storytelling. So we should, use this ability to advocate for climate and environment. And moreover, women always believe in community engagement. They always go for community centric approach where all the groups are considered. So the children are being included, where the girls are included, where the children are being included and heard. So they always work on community engagement, and they always focus on educating and advocating for them as well. So these are these are not, this is not an exhaustive list, but we have a couple of other other skills and other styles of leadership as well. But these are the few styles which you as a woman you as a woman can adopt and improve them to be a good environmental leader of your community, of your local space, or if you're working internationally or nationally, these skills would really help you a lot. So now we have a Menti session. Like, what do you think that women around the world can bring to global environmental efforts? So um, let me stop my screen for this one, and I am sharing the other screen in which we will have this question. And just give me a moment for that. And if you have any question, feel free to type in the chat. The chat is open for you, and you can type your questions there. You have any question, if you have any thought, like if you want to add on something, because the slides and the presentation is very limited for considering the time we have. But if you have any thought, if you have any personal experience, if you're working as a woman, if you're working in any space, so just do share your work, do share what you think, and we would love to hear. Now, let me give me a moment because, yeah, Annette. Okay. I'm sharing in the chat. You can use this link to answer the Menti. Okay. I have shared the link in the chat. You can click that link directly and answer. Also, you can type in the Google bar. Let me check this. Menti.com and use the code 41537634. Use this and add your opinion, what you think that what women around the world can bring. Do you think that women can bring local knowledge and practices? You think women can bring community leadership? Women bring innovation? If you think all of them, you can select all of them, but you can choose your priority areas. I am seeing a lot of responses. So according to me, if I talk about myself, I think women bring everything in different spaces. Whatever they think is necessity, whatever they think is important, they always bring it forward. And women bring local knowledge and practices. Even if I share my personal experience, I work for a project that is based in Rawalpindi and Islamabad, which are two cities of Pakistan. And we are working on the underprivileged and marginalized communities of these two cities. And when we first surveyed them, we came to know that the women had more knowledge about the water crisis there as compared to men, because it is women who are working for their families, who are doing all the water related work for their families and for themselves, and they have more sanitation and health issues related to water, so they were more well informed. So women may bring local knowledge. They are leaders, of course we are. Thirdly, they bring innovation. They are now, you see women in STEM, you see women who are engineers, you see women who are in renewable energy, and they have innovative scientific ideas that is bringing change right now. You see a lot of women doing advocating and educating other people around themselves. And lastly, we have the policy and governance part of women. Women are now, you see Greta Thunberg, you see Vanessa Nakate, you see Aisha Siddiqa, you see a lot of other, a lot of women who are advocating for environmental and climate justice. So it is just so good to see all of your um, selections. Now I am going to share the slides again. And now we will learn a new, not a new, but a different concept in the same domain, that is gender and environmental justice. So we have known justice for a long time. Justice is something that in which we believe that everyone should be served equally. But now, what is gender and environmental justice? So gender justice is basically addressing the inequalities and discrimination that is based on gender, that is based on men and women, in which sometimes women are being deprived of opportunities as compared to men. There is a patriarchy and what do you say, the stereotypical standards for women, like women cannot go out after a certain time, women cannot be paid equally as men, and certain other things. But when we talk about environmental justice is concerned with environmental inequalities. Say, for example, if the developed countries are doing some harm, but if the, say, for example, the developed countries are polluting the river, but the impacts are being faced by the people who are the vulnerable communities downstream who are using that river water. Say, for example, so it is like it is a disproportionate impacts of environmental hazard which is caused by someone else, is caused by the rich people, which is caused by the developed communities of developed countries, but it is ultimately faced by the marginalized and vulnerable communities like the people of Asia and Africa, or the people of small islands and other areas. So this is what environmental justice is. So when we address those injustices, it comes under environmental justice. But how intersection of these both concept occurs? So when we talk about unequal impact, when we talk about economic disparities, when we talk about excess of resources, gender-based violence and resilience and leadership, this is where it comes in. So you can see that women and marginalized genders are often more exposed to disproportionate impacts and burdens of environmental disaster we face. You see that if there is a flood, with the women are the ones who are having the limited access to cleaner resources. They are the ones who have increased health risk because of their requirements of health and sanitation. Then we have economic disparities. We see that women are being paid low as compared to men. So say, for example, if a community is facing a disaster, there are men and women who are both paid, but of course, women are paid less than men. So it will be difficult for women to bounce back to the original lifestyle as compared to men, because women are paid less, they have lesser money to accommodate things for them. Then we have limited access to land. And this is a very, very common practice in Africa and Asia. And people here, the women here, are not very much into the land ownerships. And if they want to make a decision for their lands, they have to be very dependent on the male family members. And in some cases, in some villages, women have to be dependent on the male figures of their communities for their lands. So if you want to ensure that women are in environmental leadership and want to ensure environmental and gender justice, so we have to ensure that they have the access to their resources. Then you see that when communities is facing a disaster, the community is facing a climate induced or environmental disaster or anything, there is a higher risk of gender based violence. And we have seen these cases everywhere. We have seen this gender based violence in Philippines, we have seen this gender based violence in Pakistan, we have seen this in other African regions where they are facing droughts. So because women are now in open communities and they are in the survival refugee camps, they are more vulnerable to gender based violence. And then when we talk about gender justice and everything, women play a very vital role in community-based environmental efforts because they contribute the local knowledge and they have the ability to build the resilience of their communities and their families, and they bring sustainable solutions. Now we have barriers and challenges. And for this, I would like to call Dr. Sadia, who is a very, very, very dear friend. And she is doing wonders in the field of environmental and climate advocacy. She is a wonder lady who advocates for solid waste management. And I would like to give the floor to Dr. Sadia, and then she can tell you that what are the barriers and challenges women face and what our role is when it comes to women in environmental leadership. So over to you, Sadia. Sadia, give me a minute. I just made you the co-host, but still it says that.
Okay, Aslam. Assalamu alaikum, everyone, and good evening. So, Mariam, can you share the screen? Okay, next slide. Okay, first, we just directly jump to the slides that what are the barriers and challenges women are facing. I want to give a picture in front of you, and for like 10 seconds, just close your eyes and just think about it, that why this topic is so important, why we are saying that now every woman and every young girl or woman need to take or need to lead the environmental front or environmental change, and they are the change basically. Why? And because today everyone is talking about the climate crisis, and this climate crisis is not only related to extreme event weathers, or it is related just the food insecurity, or we won't be having enough trees that we will have pure oxygen, or we will not having enough food, but it is related to each and everything. It is related to our economic matter, it is related to our political matters, it is related to our personal lives. And women are naturally more inclined towards the nature. And if we observe our grandmothers and the mothers, we always saw them like managing the house, that okay, we have enough food for the day, we have enough food for the month. A mother is always caring for their children, that they will have the enough food, they will have the balanced diet. And they then we listen to our mothers that they are talking about that don't waste the water, save your water, and when it is rain or any other extreme weather or something like that, she ensures that we have the enough clothes, we cover ourselves, we don't go out into the rain. So we have observed our mothers that they naturally are very good managers, and they are managing the house according to the climate or environmental conditions. So we have seen our mothers, so naturally we feel that we are more responsible towards it. Now the now where the problem lies. Okay, I'm educated, and many of the girls here who are part of this session are educated enough, and we are blessed, and we must pay gratitude to our parents or the society that we are much privileged. But what about those women living in the villages, living in the high altitude mountains, and living in the deserts, where the people used to say them that what does education गिव टू अ वुमन? वहां पर ये कहा जाता है कि औरत की तालीम जरूरी नहीं है, एक औरत को तालीम हासिल करना क्यों जरूरी है? मतलब यही कह के what will women do if she graduated, or if she goes to school, or if she goes to college, but education is very very necessary. So first thing is that under representation, so it is related to those vulnerable women and the children living in far-flung villages, where they don't have any access to schools, their schools are far away, they don't have access to the health facilities or the medical facilities, they don't have the basic knowledge that what are the preventive measures if rain or any disaster occur, what will they do, how will they save them? uh, Otherwise we have seen that women are so much concerned about their children. When a disaster came, the first preventive measure is to take a shelter and to protect your loved one. Or maybe a man, maybe for that moment, that man maybe becomes selfish, and he only seeks the shelter. But for women, his family, her family, children, everything is so important. Or most of the times we have many examples that women don't want to leave their homes in situation of the disaster. So basically, like they have a very emotional connection with their home, their animals, their loved ones. So we have to give them education. We need to give them the education and the equal opportunities that they may know that how to prevent themselves from the environmental challenges. So we have the underrepresentation. Then the gender bias and stereotyping. eh, uh, uh, as I assume that all the participants in this workshop belongs to underdeveloping or developing countries, and we have a lot of gender bias and stereotyping that women cannot go out, women cannot work in the fields, they have to cover themselves, they cannot start any initiative, they are not good at financial, political, or economic decisions. But there are so many stereotyping. But who said those stereotyping? Who said these kind of gender bias that as a woman I cannot do this? Who said that? I'm strong enough not do a particular task. Then the work-life balance, and very important point that mostly if you have a chance, or anyone belonging to a village or a rural background, so they can say that they can see that the women used to take care of their animals. They have to wake up at early morning before the sunrise. They have to fetch the water. They have to see the animals should be out. They have to work in the field. Then they have to take care of the food. They have to take care of the so they have more responsibilities as compared to the men, and so it is very difficult to balance these all responsibility tasks and home management. So it is very important that a woman must recognize that what her body needs, what are the health challenges, and how she can take care of all that. So for that she needs education, for that she needs access to the equal opportunities, and she need also good finances. Lack of mentorship and networking opportunities. So of course, if we particularly talk about the environmental sector, the sector, or the NGO sector, we saw many few organizations that is led by women. I can proudly say that I am the founder of Climate Education Warriors, and I'm working for the climate education for last 3 years, and all the people in my organization are the young girls and the women, and I am the founder. So I can proudly say that. But of course, I can say that I am the privileged one, but everyone is not privileged in terms of social and educational opportunities. So there is a lack of mentorship, the level of the trust, and the networking opportunities. And one thing these days, many students used to consult about their careers, and one thing I can see that they are not the part of any youth clubs in their universities. They are not leading any initiative. They are not part of any digital campaigns. They are not willing to do the internship, or they don't have access to the networking opportunities. They don't use Facebook, Instagram, or other digital platforms for a good network. So like, who is responsible for these things? And I guess there is lack of career counseling, or lack of opportunities for, no, we cannot say that there are lack of opportunities for the young people, but they don't there is lack of awareness. So basically they don't want to avail that, or maybe sometimes due to laziness. And it is not like that. If you are starting an initiative, then it is necessary that you must have an international donor or the local donors, and only you can start something with the help of funding. It is not like that. I'm doing climate activism for last 3 or 4 years, and I'm generating my own resources, because every time we do not want to rely on the funding. So please, now being a woman or being a young leader in this, take an initiative, take first step, and don't wait for the fellowships, and start something at your own. Then the inequalities in the pay. I guess Mariam has already discussed, and we already discussed that there are many few organizations who are led by the women. There are lack of opportunities or lack of chances, and there is the biasness, gender stereotyping, and most of the times women who are working hard, but their pay is less as compared to their men colleagues. Then biasness in the decision making, and this is a very important point. I have heard so many times, and I have received so many criticism, like from my peer circle or whatsoever, that women are not good in decision making. They are not good in financial matters. They are not good in politics. They are not good in economics. But we have seen the examples. There are so many impressive and the effective political leaders, environmental leaders. So women are leading everything. And why financial literacy is only limited to the men, or why the men is only leading initiative businesses, small businesses, or they are going out? So why there is so much biasness in our decision making? So if you have a good intellect, good level of intellect, then you can like take any kind of decisions, and no one can stop you. So next slide. Next slide, please. So how the woman brings innovation. So basically the purpose of highlighting the challenges is that for 1 second, simply take a deep breath, and then think about it, that now I will act like a leader. I will try to initiate something. And today, digital advocacy play a very, very important roles. And you can search on Google about the success story of women, and they are doing like wonders. Women are doing wonders. And one more thing, that climate crisis is not only related to plantation, or reducing the weight, or anything like in Pakistan, we used to limit the scope of the climate crisis or climate change, or social enterprises. So you can bring innovation with the technology, with the use of creativity, and you can start anything. Next. So next, these are the examples. So I won't read the slides. I just want to add something, that now most of the girls here who are part of this session are not doing anything, or they are not leading any initiative. But today, now take a paper for digital advocacy. Today, I just want every one of you should start a digital advocacy. And if you think your business skills are good, then it's a price. And now, for like 10 seconds, think of a very interesting name. Just say this Wangari has started a green belt movement. So then their Barefoot College, and then there are like several names. So whatever you are passionate about, if you want to work about reducing the plastic waste, and one thing I want to tell you, that recycling and upcycling business worth of $1,000 industry all around the world. It is a $1,000 industry all around the world. So you can do anything. So first, think of a name, focus on the SMART goals or the specific goals. Write down the 1 or 2 goals and write about your team, that who would be in your team, because without team you cannot do anything. And then start doing, make a Facebook or Instagram page, make a logo of that thing, write a description for that, and even you can use AI tool for that. And then for daily purposes, you can add 1 post or 2 posts. You can take the testimonials from other people. For example, if a girl, if anyone is belonging to a rural background, or especially if someone is from Balochistan or Sindh, there is scarcity of water there. So you can come with the innovative solution. For example, I remember one initiative related to climate change in Tharparkar. Women used to fetch water from like 20 to 30 kilometers. They have to walk and then fetch water. So one of the person came with a very innovative idea. He just gave them those water carriers on the rollers. So now women don't want to carry that heavy buckets. Their buckets are on the tides already. So I guess these are the very innovative solutions you can come up according to your like local. Always think of a local context and the problems. Then you can think about that, how you can change that thing. And for a small idea or for an innovative idea, sometimes you even don't want to spend 100 of rupees. You can start with 1,000 or 2,000. You can come up with a very good idea. So now just think about it, brainstorm today. You can start with your class, with your university. You can come up with a youth club, or even the girls who are good at stitching, or girls who are good at like making new things. So they can use the concept of upcycling. They can reuse the old things, and they can come with the decorative material, and they can sell online. They can generate their own revenue. So there are so many ideas. So now we talk about role of women and girls. So what is your role now? First, think yourself. Today, you have to think yourself as a leader, as a woman leader in your own community. Take the inspiration from the women around you who are doing a lot more with very less resources. Because as a woman, we always lack in the resources, but our aims are high, our inspirations are high. And use your local network, use your network of relatives, friends, anything. And if any one of you have read about the Mahabari Justice campaign, that these are the 2 women from the university, and during the floods, when they get to know that the women from the vulnerable communities have no access to sanitary pad, and sanitary pads are one of the basic needs of women. So what they come up with the reusable sanitary pads, and they have then educate those local women that how to make the reusable sanitary pads out of little resources. And you can read about online that how they can bring innovation with a very small idea. And then in the disaster, we women have faced many problems. Like for example, periods, we have to bleed. And then women who a pregnant woman, of course, disaster to apne waqt par aata hai, but women cannot wait for their, like when they have to deliver the babies. They cannot wait that if this disasters come or our life comes to normal and then we deliver the baby. So there are so many problems we are facing, and we have to eat 1 or 2 times. So we have to think about that how we can secure the food resources we have, or how to reduce the waste around us, and how to educate our young generation that how could be they become the responsible citizens. So we have to do a lot more. Then the advocacy and awareness. And don't think that you are just a BS first or second semester student, you are doing job, you don't have time for advocacy and awareness. You can start with a small network, and then we always like motivate ourselves that one by one we can one by one droplet we can make a seed. So so don't ever think that your advocacy or awareness efforts are small. Then the innovation and solution, I have give one example, and there are hundred of examples. Then representation and inclusive. So we have to be very inclusive. We have to address all the classes, whether they are vulnerable or not, whether they are economically sound or not. We have to add all the representation of all the diverse and ethnic, religious, and political backgrounds, and we cannot like separate things from one another, or we cannot we have to become the voice for the voiceless people. So basically this is our role. So next slide.
Thank you so much, Sadia, for the wonderful presentation, and we really enjoyed it. And I was actually imagining myself like closing my eyes and imagining that how empowered I am. Although I consider myself that I have the opportunities, I'm not restricted, but you're just feeling good about being women is very important. And there is no fight with other genders. What is important is to realize that how powerful you are as a woman. So now we are almost ending the session, and this is the last mentee session as well. You all are required to give one motivational quote you think about women in environmental leadership, like what you think women can do, what motivates you as a woman, and anything about it. And this quotation, when you write this quotation, you have to mention your name at the end, your name and your country might be. And all of these quotes will be used and will be shared on our social media, and you can share from our social media as well. So I am going to share my screen, and then you can add your quotations, and then I will share the links as well. Just give me a moment. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, I have seen some questions in the chat, and I will address them.
I guess I have to address this question about the bullying and the harassment and we women, because in our slide there is one point that how to prevent the gender-based violence, and basically this gender-based violence is related to the environmental crisis, or especially in the situation of the disasters. So first of all, वैसे generally we call ourselves that women nerves are stronger than the men, and we can observe that whenever there is an emergency situation, our thinking ability becomes very quick, and we just think about all the surroundings and all the things that how we can save our loved ones. So we are very strong in nerves. बेशक हमें दुनिया बहुत डराती है. So first of all, just get out of all the fears from the when the people used to degrade your initiative or your thinking, that you cannot do anything, you are weak. So please come out from that perspective. You are strong, and always whenever you sleep, just before sleeping, just like say that I am strong, I am stronger, and I will be more strong with each every passing day. So that you have to again and again remind yourself that you will not be afraid of anything, and have faith in Allah, or the one being who is like leading the world. So you don't need to afraid from anything. So first of all, you have to be very strong in your decisions. You have to be financially independent. You have to make yourself financially independent, because when you are financially independent, then people won't bother you, because they know that you are not burden on anyone. You can take your own decisions. You know what is good and what is bad for you. And regarding the harassment and bullying, there are many types of harassment, and law of Pakistan protects us. So you can easily Google that if you are facing any kind of bullying, online bullying or harassment. There are many women networks who are giving the therapies or the online session, and they are guiding the women, especially from the vulnerable backgrounds, that how they can reach the help, how they can reach the police or the law enforcement agencies, and how the harassment can be prevented. So use your local network and don't be afraid of one thing. And one more thing, if anyone is facing like domestic violence, cyber violence, or please don't be silent, because silent is the greatest weakness of a woman. So please don't be silent and take the professional help you get around you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Sadia. And as far as the bullying and harassment is concerned, for the environmental leaders as well. So I always suggest that if you face such thing, always make sure that you are safe. If you think you are physically harmed, or you will be physically harmed, always make sure to inform someone. Like it might be the person who is your HR. Like if you are facing it at a workplace, it would be a person who controls all of the, who is an authority and controls the situations. You can inform police. Like for the Punjab, for Punjab, Pakistan, we have the portal for women where you can report when you're not feeling safe. You should inform your parents, your family members, that you are facing such thing. And always make sure that you are safe. And whenever you feel that you are being harmed, you need to inform anyone who can take action. And if you think it is exceeding the limits and they're crossing their limits, so you can report it as well. And we have multiple such platforms, like Sadia mentioned. I can Google it about them as well. But you can always reach out to police. You can always reach out to organization if you're facing cyber bullying or cyber related harassment. You can always contact the cyber cell of Pakistan if you're from Pakistan. And every country has such policies and organizations who deals with it. And I'm seeing a lot of quotations, and thank you so much for sharing this. But I see that there is 1, 2 codes which are not being named. So if you're not, and 3 and 4, like there are 4 now. So you need to mention your name at the end, like Azhar, Laiba Azhar had mentioned, Nurul and Palwasha Wari, and everyone has mentioned, because when we will be posting it on our social media, we need your names, because these are your quotes and these are your words of motivation for other women. So keep sharing. The link is open and you can keep on sharing it. I would like to request all of you, if you can turn on your camera so we can take a group selfie, and which we can use it for a record and for reporting as well. So if you're comfortable and you feel okay to open your cameras, you are more than welcome to do that. Thank you, Elise, if you are done with the code. And thank you everyone who are mentioning it in the chat as well. And I will try to copy it from here, but I would really appreciate if you can do it on the Menti link. So I'm waiting for everyone. We have people from different countries, and I'm so glad to have you, Sarafina, Olu, and everyone who are from different countries and who are from Pakistan, of course. But I'm really glad that all girls are here, and we see men here as well. And when I see men in the sessions, which is about women, I feel more empowered, because our men are here to support us and we need their supports. We are the unit, and we are not, we are not in contradiction or in any conflict with other gender. We are all together. We just need their support. We need the empowerment from them as well. And thank you so much, Razaullah, for joining today, and all the other men in the frame as well. So I'm taking the picture in the next 5 seconds, and 3. Okay, so I sound like a photographer. but I'm not. So it's 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, Sambul, hi, I can see you now. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I have taken the pictures. Thank you so much, everyone who turned on their cameras. Now I am going to share the attendance link, which you all have been waiting very passionately. I'm going to share the link in the chat, and you can mark your attendance. Okay, just let me clear this, that this link is the only way you can get your certificate, because there is no other option. Like, if you are emailing us or you are doing anything else, you are not going to get the certificate. The only way to get the certificate is to mark your attendance via this form. Just give me a moment. Okay. So I'm going to share it in the chat. And if you are from, okay, no. I'm just mentioning one thing. Okay, I'm just sharing it in the chat, and you can mark your attendance in the link on this link. And I'm just you know repeating it again, that this is the only way to get the certificate. No emails or WhatsApp messages will be entertained for certificates. Like, we are always available to answer your queries, but for the certificate, this is the only way you can get it. So just mark your attendance, and use correct spelling of your name, use correct email address, because while I was going through the registered participants, I was seeing that there are more than 10 participants who haven't received confirmation emails because they have used incorrect emails. They have made spelling errors in their emails. So it always make it difficult for us. So while you are marking your attendance, I would like to mention that if you want to be the part of, if you want to be the part of Women for Environment campaign, so you can always contact us. Let me share the slide. Yeah. So you can always contact me on WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number is given on this slide. And you can be the part of the Women for Environment campaign. But for being the part, you have to be a woman. Like, this campaign is exclusively for women. So if you identify yourself as a woman, you can always drop a message on WhatsApp. And this is my WhatsApp number, and I will add you in the WhatsApp group. This is the first session of the capacity building session series we are going to do in this year. And there are almost 18 to 20 sessions we are planning in this series, and 10 sessions will be happening this year. So this is the first of all. And if you want to be the part of Women for Environment campaign as a woman, you are free to drop a message and mark your attendance to get the certificate. And I'm going to read the chat. Okay, attendance done. If you have done your attendance, you can leave this meeting. And it will also indicate that you have marked your attendance correctly. So if your attendance is marked, you can always leave leave this meeting. And the people who will remain in the meeting, I will assume that they haven't marked their attendance. So I would like to request, if you have marked your attendance, you can leave this meeting. And or if you have any question, you can ask in the chat. Sumbul Sheikh was saying that being female, we are proud, because yes, we are proud of ourselves. We always have a curiosity about something in our existence. We should have big dreams. Our weaknesses or your strength. Love session, and thank you so much, Sumbul. Thank you, everyone. Thank you all. Thanks to all the girls who joined today, and you are all inspiring. Sabine, I have shared my number in the slide. Okay, I'm sharing it here again in the chat. 039087549. So this is my number. My name is Mariam, and on this WhatsApp number, you will see see the logo of the Earth Needs Love. But that's my number, and you can contact me there to be added in the group. And signing off. Thank you, everyone. And I'm assuming that you have marked your attendance, and I'm repeating it again, that this is the only way to get the certificate. Like, we had more than we had almost 50 participants, but we have received 36 responses for the certificate. So I would like to request that please mark your attendance, and then after marking your attendance, you can leave this meeting. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Palvisha. Your words matter. And I'm feeling really nice after seeing all this message, because I don't know how many of you, but majority of our Pakistanis are now facing adenovirus, and we are suffering from conjunctivitis, and I'm one among them. And I'm feeling really down, but your words have empowered me now. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And bye bye, take care. And we have added you in our mailing list, and we will share the details of the next upcoming sessions with you all, which you can join and become the part of them. So thank you, take care, have a nice weekend, party hard, and take a good rest, give rest to